I like straight on, full on commentary. You know, that sort of stopping at 15 minutes and then saying goodbye and then saying hello again like 2 seconds later is just not my thing. I'd rather just go straight on. It's coincidental actually, I look at the time of the footage now and it's 15 minutes and 41 seconds, so I probably did actually just cut the video to go from part, I think this part now will be like part 20 or 21 or something, and the last part will be like part 20, I think. Oh yeah, the last part, no, this is Rusty Bucket Bear. I haven't even put up the Mad Monster Mansion footage yet, so this is like part 24 or something. Yeah, as of right now, right, today is the 25th of June, I haven't put up the Mad Monster Mansion footage yet. I've taken like a month break from YouTube at this point, for whoever might be watching in the future. At this very point now, I've taken a month's break from YouTube again, and I've got Mad Monster Mansion completely recorded and edited and ready for uploading. I just haven't bothered uploading it. I'm gonna be editing a Civilization video, which is gonna be a highlight reel of funny moments from me and my friends playing Civ 5. I'll leave that at that, because Civilization is nothing to do with this game, even though it's got soundtrack pieces edited. Well, some of the soundtrack of the Civilization games are done by Grant Kirkhope, who did the composition for this game as well. Or did a lot of the composition for this game. But yeah, I digress. I don't really know what to say next. I'm a little bit tired still today. Trying to come up with commentary is not the most easy thing to do. The most swood, as Jontron would say. The most swood. Oh god, pardon me. Oh god, I might have to edit that one out. I just burped, so that was rude of me. That was extremely rude of me. How dare you, Robbie? How dare you? How could you do this? How could this... Oh my god, I've still got burps. Jeez. Good lord, man. Hang on there. Hang on there, stomach. Calm down. Is it your stomach that causes, like, hiccupy burping? What is it that causes that? Your chest? I haven't actually... I don't know what causes hiccuping. I legitimately have never looked up what causes hiccuping. I probably should do that, to be honest, because that'd be quite interesting information to read about. Just what causes hiccups. I think it's something to do with like the tubes or something in your chest, like the sort of esophagus tubes. I don't know, like air gets caught or something. I don't know. I was always told that with hiccups it was like a trapped air bubble in your chest, and you sort of had to force yourself to either burp a lot to try and get the air bubble up, you know, metaphorically, or to do things like drinking a lot of water to try and pop said air bubble, you know, quote unquote, or you know, holding your breath to, I don't know, I guess force the air bubble up your throat, because, you know, the air is being sucked out of your body because you're not breathing, sort of thing, you know. I had a weird childhood like that, being told weird shit like that. Maybe I should share some stories from my childhood, actually, because I don't think I've done that yet on this channel, is sharing a few stories of childhood experiences, because there's always that sort of sense of childhood wonder when people talk about their child days, you know. It's like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I went to the zoo and I did this, you know. There's always this sense of childhood wonder whenever someone has a conversation with you about what they did as a kid, or when you think back to when you were a kid, for example. Like, whoever you are watching this right now, whether you're with your friends or whatever, just you know, think to when you were much younger. Even if you're like 15 right now, think to when you were like 6, you know, if you can. Think of your earliest memories, you know. What do you remember doing, you know? What kind of fun do you remember having, you know? How big was the world to you, you know, in your eyes? You know, was it like the rest of us, just huge? You know, all the things in the world that you could possibly do, you know, that kind of feeling. You know, I'm hooked on a feeling. Jeez, I don't know what that was. That came out of nowhere. That came out of left field. Oh man, precious, delicious Coke. But yeah, childhood stories. I don't know where I'd start, to be honest, because I was very lucky as a kid. I got to go to pretty much every seaside in the UK, or at least in the south of the UK anyway. I mean, literally, if you look at Google Earth and you go to the UK and you look along the entire south coast of the UK, I've been to every beachside town in the seasides of South England, like more than once. I've also, that little bit sticking out of the bottom left of the UK as well, that sort of dick on the UK, shall we say. I'll put up a picture here, that thing that's like a dick coming out of the rest of the UK. That's Cornish country, as we like to call it. Places like Cornwall, Somerset over there. I have been all the way down that to the bottom. I've stayed in Devon. I've stayed in the very bottom area in Penzance, right near the most southern point of the UK, Land's End. And I've been to Land's End back in 2006, I think. I've been to Devon, which is like more halfway up, that sort of dick. So I've never been to the northern sides of that dick though. Just keep calling it a dick because it is a dick. It's the dick of the UK. But anyway, yeah. I've never been to the sort of northern countrysides like Bristol. I have said more than once though that I would like to visit Bristol maybe once, just to see what it's like, because it's not as big as the UK. People keep telling me it is, but I mean London, sorry. People keep telling me it is, but it's not. It's not as big as London. We went past it on the way to Devon and I saw it. It's not huge at all. It's pretty much just a small city. It's not really that big. But yeah. What else can I say? Yeah, I've been to every seaside in South England, pretty much. England is sort of the southern area of the UK. It's not Cornish country. It's not Scotland. It's not the Birmingham sort of area. That's what we call the Midlands down here. We have like England in the bottom. We have the Midlands in the middle, and then up north we have Scotland. Scotland, you know, haggis, fruit cake. You know, I fucking don't know what Scottish people do. I have Scottish friends, but I don't understand Scottish people at all. Like, Scottish people are like, actually, I don't really know what Scottish people are like. Scottish people are a conundrum to me. It's just difficult for me to understand how Scottish people work. It's just like, you talk to a Scottish person and I mean, like, I don't even, there you go. That's literally my response to people talking or asking me about Scottish people, you know. It's just like, okay, yeah, well, whatever you said, man. Haggis and all that, bagpipes, you know, not wearing any skirts. I don't know. What do you do, man? You're Scottish. I don't know what you do. Tell me things. Whisper sweet nothings into my ear. I don't know. Oh god, you would not want a Scottish person whispering sweet nothings into your ear. It'd just be like, take off your clothes. You know? Oh god, that's not a Scottish accent. That's fucking, oh god, that's like Birmingham. You know? I don't want to do that again, actually. That's far too racist. That's like our own personal version of racism here in England, is if you try to imitate the accent of like someone from Birmingham or someone from Scotland or someone from Ireland. Fucking look at the Irish, you know. I'm a little bit of a fan of Jacksepticeye, who's an Irish YouTuber, but only for the accent, because I've only ever known, I think, one Irish person with like that full-on Irish accent, and that was one of my teachers in high school. In fact, she was one of the nicest teachers I had in high school, actually. And she had a very ironic name. Her name was Miss Highland, and Highlands is what we call the sort of northern areas of, well, I think it's what we call the mountainous areas of Ireland. So, yeah, it's sort of ironic that she was called Miss Highland. But she was a really, really nice teacher. She was like that one teacher that you absolutely adore being in their classroom. I'm sure we all have that one teacher. I'm pretty sure everybody has that one teacher, or had that one teacher if you're not in school anymore. Yeah, you had a teacher that you really liked being in their classroom, and you were always engaged in working during that class because the teacher just actually made you feel engaged. I hate now, looking back on school, how unengaging most classes are, because the teachers don't even try to make you entertained at all. It's literally just give you a book and tell you to read about something and then write down about what you read, you know. Literally the last 2 years of high school for me was just picking up books, reading the stuff written in the books, and then answering questions based on what you read in the books, and that was it. That was literally all we did for the last 2 years of high school, and it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever done, because it wasn't engaging, it wasn't fun. I mean, given I was a little shit in high school, I got the shittest grades and didn't actually go to many classes because I kept bunking them. I absolutely hated high school. Most of my teachers were dicks, and I got bullied, I'll be honest. I mean, you know, you could say all you want about I might have got bullied because I was annoying or a twit or fuck or whatever, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be who I am today without having been bullied. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing that I got bullied in the first place. It's never a good thing when someone gets sort of mentally and physically abused like that, but it certainly hasn't made me a bad person. It hasn't made me a worse person. If anything, it's made me wiser to how much of a dick people can be. Which is quite nice. It's nice knowledge when you're hanging out with people and you want to be friends and you actually know when they're being a dick or not, as opposed to sort of just walking up to a random person and them actually saying something sarcastic and you just being like, oh yeah, that was funny, bro, ha ha ha, you know, just without the sarcasm, of course, that I just implied there, actually thinking that what they said was you know, what they actually believe. You know, I used to believe that sarcasm was real in high school. So people were always sarcastic with me and I would just accept it as truth. So, really weird, man. Really strange. People have weird experiences in high school, I guess. I don't know. I always had weird experiences in school because I obviously didn't like school, like I already said. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who share my sentiment for school as well, but most people who hear my story of how I spent my time in high school mostly call me lazy or cowardly or, you know, just your basic stuff like that, mostly because of the fact that when faced with bullying, I would run away. With faced with hard tasks, you know, classes that I just did not understand and care for, ran away, again, bunked classes and didn't listen to teachers. You know, had to go at teachers constantly. You know, I was never a good boy, shall we say, in high school. But I don't know, I call myself better now for it because of the fact that I've learned since then. I've learned a little more about people, I guess. I mean, what exactly do you expect to learn from a teacher who just stands there and reads stuff out of a book and then gives you said book and says read it yourself and answer questions about it? You know, you're not expected to learn fuck all, really. So it's either just sit in the class and listen and take it, or just fuck off. I mean, if there was one good thing about high school, is that you were literally just allowed to leave the classroom if you wanted to. You didn't have to put your hand up, you could just get up and walk out the classroom. There was no need to ask if you needed to go to the toilet and stuff. You just got up and left. So if I didn't like a classroom, I'd just get up and leave. Man, looking back on it, I was an absolute shit in school. Then again, though, I'm not the only individual who has done that. There are plenty of people out there who absolutely hated their school and just didn't want to be there and would try to get out as much as they could and just all that stuff. And I guess I'm just no exception, is all I'm saying. Many people have done that in the past, and I'm not the first, I'm not the last, you know, all that stuff. All that good jazz. Under the scum, you'll breathe your last, because air is used twice as fast. Yeah, I said earlier, and I'll say it again, I'm not scared of the water in this level. It never really scared me. Even when I first came into this level, I was sort of in a state where it was like, well, it takes long enough for the water to go, for your air to go down anyway, so as long as you sort of keep watching that, you ain't really got much of a problem. I was a smart fuck. With games, at least. Oh dear. I gotta have a stretch, man. Oh yeah, here. I made a mistake here. I thought this right here. I stood there still for about 2 seconds there because like I fell in and in real life I just face palmed and went, oh my fucking word, did I really just fall in? You know, just, oh, the face palming is real, man. But yeah, man, we're already at 30 minutes here. Wow. I guess if there's one good story that I can talk about with going to southern seasides here in England is that there's one seaside that stands out as the seaside I've been to the most, which is Hastings. If you've never heard about Hastings, I suggest you look it up. It's a quaint little seaside town. That's not quaint at all. It's just as busy as the rest of them.